All right, welcome back to Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown with my tag team partner, my sweetheart, Anissa.
Hello.
We are set up to do a review and a breakdown of PvP Matthew Jamesia, the 8th anniversary of PvP. This happened on April 8th of 2023 at the
South End Community Center.
great venue. We were just there a couple months back at another event and
The only problem with that venue is the acoustics.
yeah, the acoustic, all the sound just goes straight to the top, and
You can't get loud enough.
can't get loud enough, and so please excuse my voice during this breakdown review because I expelled all my voice Saturday
or at
night.
least he tried.
I tried to be as loud as I possibly could.
Even
for a
I
lot of
tried to
people.
be loud.
This was a fun night. There was a lot going on. It was pretty much nonstop action the whole night.
Yeah, it really was.
It really didn't have much of a downturn at all. I had a blast. I think you had a good time.
I had a good time. Even in the bathroom, there was fun to be had.
Okay, there's that. So yeah, this was just a lot of fun. It was another great PvP show. Heck of a way to end their year, if you will.
Well, you've got to give them credit. They really think out what they're doing. They plan ahead, and they always give you a good show.
They deliver every time.
Yep.
Every time. So we'll go through our cast of characters that we had. We had at Matthew Jamesia, we had 2 referees on the card. We had our returning ref Tyler, who
Solid.
we've seen him in other places. We've seen him at Wrestling Open.
Even when he gets knocked in the leg with
my
a
God.
ladder, and he nonplussed, just keeps going.
Kept on going. And the consummate referee, Ref Vinny.
Who always does his job.
He did his job, damn it. He did his job. No, Vinny is one of the good ones. He refs everywhere. Everywhere. NEW and PvP, other places. He comes all the way from New York to referee out this way. And
He's a good fella.
He's a good guy. He was also security for the PCO's meet and greet. So it was hosted by Matthew James, which is
appropriate.
Being Matthew Jamesia. And we had our ring announcer was Cameron Coe, again, spot on job tonight.
He gets better and better.
He really does.
And he always has a smile on his face.
Yeah, and
So
he's
gracious.
running in a million different directions. He's doing more than just ring announcing.
I just want to put him in my pocket. He's so cute.
He's wearing different hats. Sound and audio and video was done by John Roy again. That guy is all over the place as well.
We can't forget Dakota.
No, I'm saving the best for last, really. Dakota running the door. We had 2 crew guys running the doors, handing out pamphlets. One, Donovan Dwyer, and
one of our favorites.
And Eric. And I'm sorry, Eric, I don't know your last. I believe it's Eric, but one of the other fan faithfuls running the door with him, passing out pamphlets and just greeting everybody. Got it,
Paying their dues early.
It's the PvP family. Everybody, helps out, and they did a great job.
And we can't forget Davian, who was sweeping in the ring and helped with ring crew.
Well, yeah, you got AJ Cruz's boy, Davian. This kid is paying his dues before he even thinks about getting in the ring.
And when you watch him, he's taking everything in.
He's not doing it because he has to do it. He's doing it because he wants to do it. He's learning, and he's being taught the right way by his old man and everybody else. Everybody's taking this kid under their wing a long time ago, and they're making sure he's doing everything right.
He's going to be an incredible adult. You can tell.
Yeah, both of them. Both of them.
Yes. Well, the little one's still little, so
he's got a long way to go.
Right.
So the night started off with, meeting and greeting and everything. Like I said, there was a special guest, Ring of Honor and Impact star, former WWE star as well, PCO, who
bless his heart.
Been wrestling for a long damn time. I watched him under a different character name, but he was a wrestler in WWF at the time. And he's gone to Ring of Honor, he's gone to Impact, and he does a lot of the hardcore, crazy stuff. And
dear
he
little
did a meet
Casey,
and greet as well.
Yeah, she said, "What a wonderful man. He's very sweet."
And how many times have we heard that, though?
Right.
You meet these guys that are supposed to be big and gruff, and they're gentlemen. They're good guys, and I didn't take a chance to go up and meet him. I just did, money is money, and some of us have it, and some of us don't, and I didn't have enough to go do that as well. I'm all right with it. I got to see him wrestle, and we'll get into that. So that was before the start of the show. There was also some vendors there this night.
Which is always cool.
Which is cool, and the night was also somewhat sponsored by Bertera Chevrolet, and some other people that I'm not aware of all that, but Bertera Chevy I'm aware of. So all that,
we are not sponsored, though.
We are not
we're just putting it out there.
we do this on a nickel and a dime, and that's just because it's holding us up straight.
And just for fun.
Yeah.
We're not looking for sponsorship. No.
So with all the meet and greet stuff and all that stuff out of the way, the night started off with a preliminary match, which was one guy we've seen somewhere else and a guy we've never seen before.
But it was fun seeing him.
I'm glad I got to, and then we watched something later on when we got home, and
there he
got
was
to see him again. So we had a singles preliminary match, and that was Steve Stetson.
Boo!
The New Jersey Cowboy. Whatever. And
I turned my back to you, sir.
Listen, I tried to carry something on from Wrestling Open that we've seen multiple times. I tried to carry it on, and apparently not a lot of other people were watching Wrestling Open.
The cheese stood alone.
So I tried, but it didn't work. And maybe next time. And that was Steve Stetson versus Eric Chacha. And man, this little guy, because he was little, not a big guy. He was a little guy, and he carried himself fairly well throughout that match. He had to put up with some shenanigans from Steve Stetson,
and he was from Ecuador. I love seeing people from other countries come and wrestle here.
He caught the crowd's attention right away.
Yes,
he really did. He wasn't just go up the stairs and stay. It wasn't like this was his first match.
Right.
He knew what he was doing, and
he has a big personality.
He's kind of, maybe because he's from Ecuador, he has a bit of a lucha background to him, to his wrestling. He's flip flop and fly kind of guy, but you can only do so much of that with a guy that's rough and tumble like Steve Stetson.
Boo.
I mean, he does what he does.
Right.
He did it. He's.
Respect where respect is due. Is that he is a talented wrestler.
Yeah, and he's come a long way too, because he was known under a different name at a different place with a different family, and he's come a long way. He's trimmed up. He no longer looks the way he did. He found money in his family, and but man,
it's weird knowing that there are cowboys in New Jersey, but
according to him, there's only the one. So
there's a reason for that.
I don't know, but Steve Stetson won. It was, It was dirty tactics. It was, cheat if you can, cheat if you must. And he did, So it was what it was. But that's a preliminary match. It was just what they do is they're kind of getting these people out in front of their crowd, see how they react to them, and they might bring them back. We've seen a bunch of our guys that we see on a regular now start out in those preliminary matches. I mean, BRG was one of those guys.
Boo.
Yeah, well, hey, he wasn't there. I think somebody's ducking me. But anyway, Channing Thomas was another one of those guys that started out in a preliminary match.
Didn't Bear Bronson originally?
No, I think he just came along and
Okay.
he wrestled against Mark Sterling the first time we ever saw him. There's two names you see on TV.
Yeah.
That was at the Cove. So, 5 years ago. But, so the preliminary matches, maybe before the show starts, but they're important because you might see these people again. I'd like to see this Eric Chacha again.
Definitely.
Not crazy about seeing Steve Stetson again.
Oh, I'd like to see him.
But I would like to see him.
But get his ass handed to him.
There's another cowboy that I think I'd like to see these two face each other.
Ooh.
But we'll get to that. So that was the preliminary match. We spent a lot of time on that, but our very first match of the card of the show was we're gonna start it on fire, and that was a triple threat ladder match for the PvP Tag Team Championships. Holy hell! Just the lineup alone. You got the Brick City Boys, who have challenged for the titles before in a ladder match, and you got what they called a Dream Team. Was AJ Cruz and RJ Rude.
The initial guys.
The initial guys, okay. And then you had the champions, the closers. The original closers, which was Big Bacon Brad Hollister.
Boo.
There you go. And Sexy Jesus Hammer Tunis.
Boo.
And, man, I mean, you watch a ladder match, you know what you're going to get. First of all, you're going to have ladders involved.
And this time they
all stood up.
They were heavy duty.
Some of them bounced to standing up. It was crazy.
Blink and you miss it.
It was a car wreck. It really, but holy heck, was there a lot of action everywhere. They did some of the traditional ladder spots. RJ Rude did the helicopter spin with the ladder over. That spot always gets me when you see it on the big time, or you see it, like this on the Independence. It's just a crazy spot. I remember Terry Funk doing it in ECW. That was the first time I ever saw it, and now you see RJ Rude doing it. Are you kidding me?
But I can see why they call them the Dream Team, because you have the veteran, AJ Cruz.
Yeah.
And the relatively, he's not new. He's not brand new.
No.
But he's new-ish in RJ Rude. And
still somewhat new to the singles.
Yes.
But now we're putting them in a tag team. So.
But having them come together is a genius move.
What a great team, though.
Right.
They made a hell of a team.
You wouldn't even know this is the first time they've wrestled together.
They worked well together. They communicated without communicating, but you got the closers who have been a team forever. And, they're going to do what they got to do. And it's a ladder match. There's no cheating. There's no disqualification on anything. But
if they could find a way to cheat, I'm sure they would.
But, you can still fight dirty or whatever, but still.
Jason, run.
Unfortunately, he's running with. But
I don't know. I put a bug in his ear. Maybe.
I don't think it's going to work.
He's better than that.
And the Brick City Boys, man, these guys are unsung on the East Coast. They really are. They're
a solid team.
They have been up and down the East Coast a lot. They've been off the East Coast. They need to be seen more. The Brick City Boys are a hell of a team. They're a bad guy team, but man, what a team!
They're still nowhere near
action.
that kind of level of heelishness than the closers.
Well, no, hey, when you set the bar high, it's hard to.
Yeah, give them time.
So that ladder match was crazy as all get out. There was some spots in there that just were, holy heck, and the closers took the W on that one, which means they retained the tag team championships. They climbed the ladder and pulled that. Had a bit of a struggle pulling those titles out of the. Off of the hanger or whatever, but they ended up doing it. And
RJ had his fingertips.
Oh, he was so close. He was so close. There was a couple of close calls.
I felt myself
pushing him,
sending energy to just get him a little higher.
And so the closers took the W on that one.
Boo!
And that's what it says in my notes too. So,
well, those are my notes.
I'm saying. I didn't write it. So then our second match was another title match, and that was for the women's championship. Our champion, introduced the challenger first, as they do in the ring. Mm-hmm. The challenger was new to us, to seeing live and in person. Mm-hmm. Anastasia Morningstar.
She's a heel, but she's talented.
Holy heck. Man, and facing our women's championship for PvP, and that's Big Juicy.
We love Big Juicy.
I'm sorry.
The queen of charisma.
She really is.
Her
music hits, and she's on. She is on like Donkey Kong. She is just awesome. I absolutely love Big Juicy, and nobody will ever stir me wrong on that.
I just want to take a quick second. I wish people would quit policing what these wrestlers wear, especially women. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Just because this person has a body type that is voluptuous does not mean that it's inappropriate. Stop it. Okay.
You heard it here first. I'm not disagreeing. I echo these sentiments. I don't need to say it any different. Hell of a match for facing, I believe, for the first time anywhere. I think these two have never faced before. And it was a hell of a match. Juicy took some hard hitting chops.
Oh my goodness. Her chest looked like
there were some power moves that she did to Anastasia that I was surprised. Not surprised, but never seen out of Juicy before. Mm-hmm. There was some hard hitting, bullish fighting coming out of both of them. Mm-hmm. But I was pleasantly surprised with how much Juicy grows every time we watch her wrestle. She gets better and better and better and better. Mm-hmm. We need more challengers for Big Juicy.
We need more women wrestling all across the board in every division.
No, 100%. They're out there. Some of them are still just up and coming, but we need to get more of them out here. Mm-hmm. But this Anastasia Mornings, she's no joke. Mm-mm. No joke. And in other places she runs with a certain crowd, and it's like, no. But Big Juicy retained her title.
Yay!
Obviously.
But please come back, Anastasia.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see her wrestle again. Wrestle somebody else or whatever. I could see her wrestling a certain gatekeeper that we used to have in PvP. I could see her wrestling Davienne. Oh my God, would that be a match? Somebody would get put in their place, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So then we had our third match, which was a open challenge match. The Kingpin Brian Malonis put out on the face pages, put out an open challenge. He says, I beat everybody. who's going to step up? Well, somebody stepped up. And I was happy to see who stepped up. And that was Sammy Diaz, top 5. Dead or alive. This guy...
love him.
This guy has got talent oozing out of him. Why is he not signed somewhere?
I know.
He's got to be the next guy that gets signed somewhere.
See, and that's what I love about PvP is they recognize talent. They find talent, they have them come in, and they support them to go on to the next level. And that's what I love about PvP.
Because we've seen it with multiple people.
Yes.
People that are holding championships today in major companies. So, yeah. No, I love Sammy Diaz. I got nothing but love for that guy. And his talent is unbelievable. He can do everything.
And I love...
And he's wrestling friggin' Brian Malonis.
Who, yes, he's a heel. I don't care. I still love him too.
Yes.
And I'm not going to ruin him by saying what a lovely gentleman he is.
Yeah, here we are.
It's our secret. But... And Brian Malonis, look at how he's trimmed up.
Yeah. Oh, he's been working on
He's working hard and he can go. And where Sammy held his own against Brian was fantastic.
Yep. No, there were a couple of times I thought...
Well, when we all went, oh no, poor Sammy.
Yeah.
When he came out and we were thinking, crap.
Yeah, this isn't how I wanted to see Sammy Diaz. I wanted to see him go. Well, he went.
He went.
And there were a couple of times I thought he was going to go over. I thought he was going to win.
And there were a couple of times that we thought he was going to go through the ring.
Well, I mean, you're wrestling Brian Malonis.
Exactly.
You know, he's not just the best big man. He's just one of the best wrestlers. Brian Malonis is one of the best to do it in the past 20 years. He's got a 20-year career under his belt. 20 plus, and he's been everywhere. And he still
has more.
And he's been everywhere.
Yes.
You know, he's been on Ring of Honor. He's been in the NWA. You know, I mean, the guy is talented.
And as much as I want to keep him at PvP, I also want to see him on my TV again.
I want Sammy Diaz on my TV.
Oh, that's without a doubt. Yes.
You know,
and I think
and he was just on Wrestling Open. We just watched it last night from the previous Thursday. You know, and he killed it.
Yes.
He killed it. Nothing but love for Sammy Diaz. No, but
and I love how the youngsters all think he's fantastic too. His cheering section, they mobbed him when he came out.
After.
Yeah.
He happened to be walking through the door and a crowd went from here to over there in the middle of cheering for somebody else.
I was so happy that I got to just quickly say hello, thank you, and you're awesome on my way to other places. And before he was just surged with love.
That King Ben was going to win that one. And I'm sorry, Sammy. No, Sammy won that match and we were pleasantly surprised, but I don't know why surprised, because he's so talented. No,
we're used to seeing
Kingpin bowl over everybody, but he didn't, and he rolled him up for that win, and I'm all about it. Sammy.
I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch, but I'd like to see him work his way up the ranks to face Scotty Wild for that championship.
Yeah, that would be a good
match. Because that's
a
match that I would like to see.
Well, any match is going to be... I mean, remember the match that he had with Logan Black?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And that was wasn't that a triple threat match with AJ Cruz? Because that was the match where Logan lost his job.
Shh. We're moving past that.
But that got rectified. We're okay with that.
Yes.
So...
No more tears.
I ain't doing that again. I've done that enough. So then after that match, then we had our PvP Heavyweight Championship match. And this was with another special guest that we had. And that was challenger for the title was Flip Gordon of Ring of Honor fame.
Mr. Mutton Chops.
I've never seen him wrestle live. This is the first. I've seen him wrestle on TV a bunch because of Ring of Honor. And then he was facing our champion, Scotty Wilde.
Yay!
Who is, since we've come back, since we've got PvP back, heck, we saw him come back post-pandemic at Blitzkrieg. Where it was like he was warming up.
Ironically,
for coming back
against Sammy Diaz.
See what I'm saying? So Scotty Wilde just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. He's proving that championship is in the right spot, and I see him successfully defending that for a while. He's doing a great job as it is. This match, I mean, seeing Flip Gordon on TV, you kind of know what you're going to get. Getting to see it live was
Against
something
one of your
else.
favorites.
Yeah. Getting to see him live, holy crap. He literally, his name is Flip. It's going to tell you right there what you're going to get out of the guy.
If it's in his name, yeah.
And man, can the guy flip, flop, and fly. He's all over the place. And he did some stuff that I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing in some of the rings we've seen before. Luckily, we were in this ring, and damn, he was all over the place. It was a well wrestled match, and Scotty Wilde retained, which
Fantastic.
I'm happy about. Scotty Wilde's one of my guys. I liked him since day one, since that trilogy. I will always go back to that trilogy of matches with Logan Black. That sold me on both of them. I mean, I was already sold on Logan Black anyways.
Right.
But
that trio of matches,
that trilogy of matches was just unbelievable, and I would love to see that again. Now for a title up for grabs. Just saying.
Oh, but that.
Yeah,
I hate seeing the people that we like the best go against each other. I mean, yeah, we go both these guys, but come on, it breaks my heart.
It's hard.
It was fine this time because Flip Gordon, whatever. He yes, he's talented. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not slighting him, but
we're not invested in him like we are some of these other guys.
Scotty Wilde,
yeah,
and he works so hard.
Yeah,
he deserves this.
Yeah. So then they had the intermission after the championship match. We had the intermission.
Yes, we needed it because I needed to breathe.
Needed to breathe and
use the potty.
Visit the facilities.
And accidentally step through a TikTok.
I guess that's what happens in the ladies' room because it wasn't happening in the men's room. But you got to meet and greet, go buy your merch, and all that good stuff, and you got to support these indie wrestlers, and that's the way to do it. Intermission comes, go up to the tables, buy an 8x10, buy a t-shirt. Whatever they're touting. AJ Cruz had a new shirt out. I wanted to get one. Unfortunately, he sold out of my size, and which is disappointing. But he said his wife said that they will be getting more in the right sizes.
Nobody offered to get one in my size.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you. These things happen. So
Good thing you're cute.
After intermission, we started back off with a segment that we're not didn't have any knowledge of, but apparently used to happen in the old EWA days, and that was called The Doctor's Office with Doc Heresy. Now, if you remember the last time we had a PvP event, he had a falling out with his team. Doc Heresy did with Ryan Clancy and Thomas Santel. They had a bit of a falling out. Well, Doc Heresy wanted to get to the bottom of everything with Ryan Clancy. Out came and out came the doctor. He had his arm in a sling. So he was putting everything all on Fancy Ryan Clancy. He tries defending himself. Ryan Clancy tries defending himself to, this is how it was. This is what you were doing, and what you're saying is all wrong. And he needed a little bit of backup with his case, and out came Marshall McNeil, who. Marshall's just one of the great guys. He really is. But I had a little trust issues because I've seen too much wrestling, maybe, where I've seen things go poorly for people in interview segments.
Let's just say that Eric was holding his breath through the whole thing.
So he was defending Ryan Clancy, Marshall McNeil was, and he somehow he talked it into a match on this night where if this match is going to happen, it's going to be the doctor with his sling on versus Fancy Ryan Clancy with one arm tied behind his back.
Which, that's just dangerous to me.
So you got two one-armed guys gonna wrestle. Okay. So the match begins, or goes to begin, and then all of a sudden the arm in the sling came out and it's perfectly fine, yet Ryan Clancy's still tied behind with one arm behind his back. And
I already have trust issues with doctors. This didn't help.
And so the good doctor commenced to beating the hell out of Ryan Clancy. But then he started fighting himself back and, defending himself. And he did pretty good for a one-armed man in an ass-kicking contest. I don't really know that that's how that goes, but that's how it went.
Oh, bless.
There were a lot of shenanigans in this match. There really were. I'll put it right here. Who won this match? I forget. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But
that's my fault.
No, I think my memory's fault. Well, that moves us on to our next match, which I do know who won this match. And that was our 6-man tag team match, which I was torn, but I wasn't torn. There was 2 teams, and I was torn because of the 2 heads of the team. You had Logan Black's team, which anybody who knows me knows I'm going to back Logan Black no matter what. And that was Logan Black and Legit
Cal.
Perfect Perkins and 50 Cal.
Who was on the wrong team.
That's her opinion, not mine. And they were facing the Tracksuit Brute, the Godfather Chokeslam, Chris Benet.
Who was on the wrong team.
Who may have been on the wrong team, but it's his family. I mean, whether they look like family or not, they're family. And his team was obviously Chris Benet, Jay Haru,
Boo,
and Pedro Donez, who never seen him live. Talented little pit bull is what he is. He's a pit bull, but he's powerful. Mm-hmm. He can wrestle. But man, what a match! This was all over the place. And then they went to face Chris and Logan went to face off against each other, and
my heart broke.
I hated it. I hated it. Those are my guys, man. I love those 2 guys. It was a 6-man tag match, so it was all over the place, and I didn't know how I thought it was gonna go.
I know how I hoped it would go.
I mean, I was always backing Logan Black, but
Team Benet took it.
Team Benet was just, they always got something in their back pocket,
A little underhanded.
Yeah, you got the shenanigans they're doing it for the family. I mean, that should say it right there. You know, they're gonna do whatever they can to win, and they did. Unfortunately, I don't know what we gotta do, and I say we as a collective, we of the PvP family, but we gotta get Logan Black on a winning streak here, because things have been going a certain way that
he deserves better.
He needs to win a couple. I'd like to see him win a couple to get into that title picture. Yeah, I really would.
Also, some of the people you have him with, like 50 Cal, could have gone somewhere else.
Maybe.
I mean, LPP, he is impressive.
That guy is talented beyond talented.
And he's a New York City cowboy who would be awesome against a New Jersey cowboy. I'm
saying, this is what we alluded to earlier. His persona, somewhat outside of the ring or whatever, is legit. Perfect Perkins is quite the cowboy himself. So I wouldn't mind seeing a cowboy match, and that being Perfect Perkins versus
ring the cowbell.
Ring the cowbell. We need more cowbell. Versus Steven Stetson. I mean, somebody sign that match and sign it quick, because that's something I want to see.
Because I want to see LPP kick Stetson's tushy back to New Jersey.
Yes. That would be a Haas fight. And I mean Haas as in Haas Cartwright.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Some people are not going to get that reference, and that's okay.
It's a bonanza for all.
So that brings us to our main event. And this was some craziness that we had going on here. This match was going to be a no-holds-barred match, a no-holds-barred street fight match, where Alex Cypher had a guy that was fighting for him. Yeah, Matthew James had somebody fighting for him. Alex Cypher chose Slade. Slade is a dangerous man, and he's a killer. He's a destroyer. No, you can't say it. Aww. So you're ruining the gimmick. I don't think it's a gimmick. This guy is dangerous. He is a hardcore wrestler now.
But I love him.
But he was fighting for Alex Cypher.
I don't love him.
Nobody does. And then Matthew James had PCO, who we talked about before, who also does some pretty hardcore stuff. He does some crazy stuff.
He's my age.
Now, the stipulations of this match were, if Slade wins, Alex Cypher gets his spot back on the PvP board and somewhat puts him back in charge.
I don't know what Matthew James was thinking to that stipulation.
Now listen, if PCO wins, Alex Cypher has to survive 2 minutes with PCO in the ring.
Which I don't know what Cypher was thinking for that stipulation.
For agreeing to this. But he felt having Slade in his back pocket.
I mean, yeah, it's a safe bet.
That's a safe bet to make.
But he also made it before he found out about PCO.
But he still had Slade in his back pocket. He immediately said Slade before anything. And if you have him as your wrestler... I mean,
generally it's a safe bet.
I would have a hard time betting against him, except that... he was on, that wrong team we were just talking about? Things should have been on the other teams, but if they were, things would have been different. So, glad things are the way they are. This match was crazy. There was a Home Depot underneath that ring.
Yeah.
There was a broom. There was ladders. There were chairs. There were doors.
There was glitter.
That was on the ring.
It was underneath it, too.
It's everywhere. It's all over the ref. It's all over wrestlers.
I think I spotted some thumbtacks.
There-
I was surprised those didn't come out.
There was a lot going on in this match. This match was everywhere. It was inside the ring. It was outside the ring. It was through chairs. It was through doors. Doors are the new tables. For those that aren't aware of why they're using doors.
Johnny Cash's song "I've Been Everywhere" was playing,
Yeah.
Well, or should have been.
Tables have kind of on the indie scene have taken a wayside, and now they've been replaced with doors. You get a different effect with the door, and I think it's more impactful visually.
Well, I'm sure
And
it
I
is
think
for the
physically
guys going
too.
through
But
them,
I
too.
mean, I'm not bumping through a table, so I don't know one way or the other. But this match was crazy. It had everything. It had everything you want in a anything goes street fight. It was unbelievable.
I was watching through my fingers.
I wasn't. I was all about this match.
I can't help it. I can't help
It was
it.
all about this match. However, we get to the finish of this match. PCO won. And PCO winning meant that now Alex Cypher had to survive 2 minutes alone with PCO in the ring. It didn't go well for Mr. Cypher.
Well, at first I thought, and I don't know why, that Matthew James was going to, because he was pleading. He got on his knees and he was begging for this not to happen. And he got up and walked away, and Matthew James says, "Oh, I don't think so."
He grabbed him by the scruff and he marched him back to the ring, and he
Threw him in.
tossed him to the lion in the ring, and PCO ate like there was no tomorrow. Alex Cypher learned a new way to knock on a door. It's not an effective way to knock on a door, but it's how he did it. He used his head, used his back, he used his body. Let's put it that way. He went through the damn door that was propped up in the corner.
Through first.
He beat the ever living hell out of Alex Cypher. I tried to help him. He was reaching for the ropes, and I tried to give him my hand. I don't know. He just didn't get close enough. I don't know what happened. But man, what a hell of a main event! It was everything that it was kind of booked to be. And
It was definitely Matthew Jamesia.
it definitely was. And what a celebration of 8 years of PvP. So that was this event all wrapped up into a nice little bow, which kind of brings us to the way we end these breakdowns and reviews. Your performer of the evening.
My performer of the evening.
There's a lot to pick from. There was a lot of people were on top of their game Saturday night. They really were.
I'm going to give it to Sammy Diaz.
Yeah. No,
He held his own.
yeah.
He was incredible. My second choice was the Dream Team.
Yeah.
AJ and RJ.
Yeah.
Because they fingertips away.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted. I
Yeah.
wanted to see that.
Yeah. My performer of the evening is Sammy Diaz. Really is. Usually we try to do something different. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Go different from each other. I'm not going to. He brought it against one of the best wrestlers in New England today. In Brian Malonis. He brought it and won. That's huge. That's a huge win for him. That's one that you put on the resume. I've beaten Brian Malonis.
I mean, just the amount of knowledge that that Brian Malonis has accrued over the years.
Yep.
That he knows so many different ways to beat an individual.
Yeah.
Not just to a pulp, but in the ring.
But just to pin him. You get a pin out of him.
Exactly.
No, he brought it and he won. And that's huge. That's huge in my book.
Yeah, kudos to him.
So no, that's a double on Sammy Diaz for Performer of the Night. Match of the night.
You go first.
Me go first. I mean, that match itself was a damn good match. They all were good matches. They really were. I love the ladder match. I love the main event. I love the championship match. I love Juicy and Anastasia. They were all really, really tight matches.
Even the preliminary match.
That was a great match. So it's like, I'm picking a great match out of all these great matches. It's like, how do you pick the match of the evening?
That's what I'm asking.
I know. I'm stalling. I'm gonna go with this one, and for a couple of different reasons, and I'm gonna go with the main event. And I'm gonna go with the main event for the main reason is what we always talk about when we talk about PvP, and that's that storytelling. This was a closure of this story with Alex Cypher.
We thought that
it should be, but whatever, even if it's not.
Well, Alex Cypher is a bad penny. He finds a way to return every gall-ram time. I don't see this as being the end. I think this is the next chapter.
Then it's the next chapter. But we got what we were...
We got some satisfaction.
He got some satisfaction out of it. He finally got his. He got his comeuppance. Finally. Karma really caught his ass and put it through a door. And then just continued to beat the shit out of him till he was a mess in the middle of that ring. That's why I'm picking the main event. There are a lot of runner-ups for my match of the evening. And I could have picked a lot of them for other reasons. They all killed it. Everybody killed it. Yours.
I'm going to go with the triple threat ladder match. I'm not happy with how it turned out.
Right.
But when you think in terms of quality that PvP puts out and that it represents, this match was PvP through and through.
Yep.
And
just by the names that are in it.
Right.
Just by the names that are in that match. I mean, the Brick City Boys, great freaking tag team. Then a thrown together team that, they deserve to be thrown together. It wasn't like, this doesn't make sense.
The initial team.
The initial team. And then the closers, which are a staple in PvP. Like it or not, they are a staple.
Boo.
But they all kind of represent PvP to a point,
You have the past, you have the now, and you have the future. And that is indicative of what PvP is.
Yeah.
They represent all of it.
Yep.
And I'm here for more.
Yep. No, it was a hell of an event. And I don't disagree with I'm on board with your match of the evening. It was one of my runner-ups. But I stated why I picked mine.
The heavyweight
that
match.
Title
that was definitely a contender for match of the night.
Again, they all could have been. Juicy and Anastasia could have been one. Because they killed it.
And we can't, Sammy Diaz and Kingpin.
I mean, we both pick him for our performer of the evening, but not his match. No, that match is up to,
it's only...
Play it again, Sam.
It's only by a hair's breadth that
it's hard.
Yeah.
Every match on that card was great. It really was. It was a hell of an anniversary celebration. I mean, they brought it. they destroyed it. And I'm ready for the next one. PvP put on a hell of a show on Saturday. I got the T-shirt to prove it.
And the pictures.
And the pictures. Those will be coming. It was a hell of a night. I had a hard time sitting the whole time. We got to see some of our favorites. We got to sit with some of our favorites. We got to sit next to somebody we don't usually sit next to.
No, we
usually
see
she's
her
on
across-
another.
yeah.
So it was fun getting to. We had fun with somebody else on the other side. Got to see Foggy. And, I'll always tout Foggy.
And I hope he gets his glasses soon.
Yeah. He's nothing but love for Fog, man. I love that guy. And there were some people that were missed, and it didn't seem right not having Kulik there. It was like, where are the woos? Where are the there's a certain chance that you expect, and he's not here. So you were missed.
And we thought of both Sean and
and Larry. Yeah, they would have absolutely loved this event.
Yes, they would have.
Larry would have loved seeing Alex Cipher going through that door. He would have absolutely loved. He would have helped. He would have. No, this event was great. So go out, support your local independent wrestling. I don't care where you go, support them, push them to the moon. You never know when that guy that you're watching in that ring on an indie show is going to be on TV holding a championship.
But even more than that, there are some of these professionals, some of these independent wrestlers who are second guessing themselves. Should I do this? Does anybody care?
Yeah.
If they see you and they know that they have people who are cheering them, supporting them, it means the world to them.
And another little shout out to the little guy, don't know his name, had a sign for just about every match.
I think it's Nathan. I think his name is
This
Nathan.
little kid, somebody helped him make his signs. Mom and dad or somebody helped him make his signs. But he had a sign for just about every match. He wanted the cage. Where he had a sign, where's the cage? He had one for Scotty Wild. He had one for Big Juicy. There were a couple of Big Juicy signs out there. There was... I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here because I used to love watching Monday Night Raws, the Monday Night Wars for the signs. It's cool seeing signs at an indie show because they're doing it for the guys or girls in the ring. They're not doing it for TV.
Right.
So it means something. Did you see the creative Slade sign?
Yes, that was incredible.
Where it was folded up and it just said Slade, and then he opened it up and it said Slade. And
yes.
He took a picture with the kid with the sign.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So seeing signs at indie shows, there's a couple of guys that I know that do signs at all the shows, and that's their thing. And that's great. But seeing other little kids doing it too, that's cool. Or, even the adults.
Go to a show.
But
they're so entertaining.
Little money, and you get to have the entertainment of a lifetime. If it's your first time, you're going to be, what am I watching? You
You're
never
gonna be
know.
overwhelmed, right?
You catch somebody in the lap. You're going to, whatever. You never know. You're going to have so much fun. And if you go twice, well, now you're a part of the family.
You're hooked, yeah.
Because they'll suck you in, and you get invested in the wrestlers, some of the fans, just the people that you get to meet and know. It's so much fun. It really is, and it's a drug of choice for me. I absolutely love professional wrestling, and on the independent level,
It's even better.
Something grabbed me when I went to our first show, and I can't let it go. I just can't let it go. I love independent wrestling, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. So, that was PvP's Matthew Jamesia, the 8th anniversary, in a nutshell. And
pretty big nutshell.
a pretty big nutshell, and it was broken. So, remember, If you liked what you saw here, like, comment, subscribe, ring the
Share.
bell, share it. Let us know what you like, and we'll keep trying to put it out there. There will be pictures from this show posted shortly. So thank you for watching. Everybody that watches this, I 100% appreciate everything. I really do. If you watch a second of it to watching almost an hour of it, I truly appreciate it. And I do this mainly for the boys and girls that do this stuff.
Because more eyes need to be on them.
You guys deserve to be seen and heard about and booked. And I'm just trying to do my little part to help get your names out there. I love you guys. I love everything that you guys do for our entertainment. So I caught a rambling, and I'm trying to let it go. So Anissa, thank you for going with me.
Thank you for taking me.
And thank you for doing the breakdown and review.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for joining me. This has been Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown. We'll see you at the matches. Thank you.